Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our UTMy webinar, where we are going to introduce our School of Transdisciplinary Science and Design, which is part of the University of Scuba, Malaysia. Now, before we get started into our webinar, which will be about 1 hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, we want to talk about the application dates that are coming up very quickly for our course, for our undergraduate course. Uh, can we move to the next slide? Okay, one moment. Okay, for our 2025 intake, which will be this coming September 2025, the online application window is from March 18th until April 15th. So please note those dates, and we are looking forward to your applications. And we're going to give you more information about the application process in today's webinar. And of course, we are always available to answer any questions that you have about the application process. Now, let's go forward and talk about what we're going to introduce to you today. My name is Leslie Tak Kawasaki, and I'm one of the faculty members in the School of Transdisciplinary Science and Design. And so I am going to be your master of ceremonies, basically, for today's webinar. Now, moving forward, today's webinar is going to have the following content. First of all, I'm going to give you a very brief overview of the University of Scuba for those of you who are not familiar with our university. I know that we have some attendees today who are maybe some Japanese students who are familiar with the University of Scuba, but there's other students who are not familiar. So I'm going to give you a quick introduction to our university. And then we're going to talk about the UTMy overview and basically our course in general. And our dean, Professor Maki Tsujimura, is going to explain the concepts behind UTMy and how we came to be in Malaysia. And then Professor Mochiyama, who is the head of our curriculum committee, will talk about the PBL, which is problem-based learning. And that's a very special type of instruction process that we have at the University of Scuba. We're very pleased to be able to work with students to solve global issues. So Professor Mochiyama will explain more about that as well. And then Professor Yamada will tell you about the curriculum and our specialized curriculum that we have, and some of the features of our curriculum that make our course just a little bit different from other courses. And then we're going to have self-introductions from our faculty members who are able to be with us today. And we have a slide from each one of the faculty members. And he or she will tell you about what their research is and then some of the things that they do and what they will bring to the UTMy curriculum. And then finally, we'll have a question and answer section, and we're happy to answer your questions in Japanese or English, and we'll do our best. Okay, so let's get into the overview of the University of Scuba. The University of Scuba is one of the top national universities in Japan, and we have a wide range of students. We have undergraduate courses, postgraduate courses. In fact, as of May 2024, we have just a little less than 10,000 graduate students, and our undergraduate numbers are quite above that. So we are a comprehensive national university in Japan, and we have been one of the main universities in Japan for over 150 years. In fact, about a year or two ago, we celebrated our 150th and 50th anniversary. Okay, 150th because we used to be the Tokyo Normal School back in the 1800s, but also the 50th anniversary, and that was in September 2023, because our university was actually formed here in Tsukuba Science City in Ibaraki in October 2020, to 1973. So that makes us 50 years old plus 150 years old. Now, within our university, we have 9 schools, 23 colleges, and one specific degree program. Plus, within our school of in our School of Comprehensive Studies, we have 8 of those, and then we have our newest degree, which is the degree in Transdisciplinary Science and Design at the bachelor level, Bachelor of Arts and Sciences. Now, as where we stand in the rankings in Japan, we are ranked in the top 10. We're actually ninth in Japan, according to the Times Higher Education, or THE, university rankings for Japan. So we are quite well known in Japan, and we are quite highly regarded within Japan and internationally. Now, okay. Earlier I said that we were one of the top, our university was both 150 and 50 years old. Well, we are ranked 24th in the top 50, in the top 50 under 50 of the QS World University Rankings, which is a ranking of young universities or newly established universities. So in the world, we're 24th in that top 50 ranking. Now, finally, and this is something that I think that would be appeal to both Japanese and non-Japanese students, is that we have a lot of experience with foreign students. All right, we are ranked ninth among national universities in Japan in terms of the number of foreign students that we accept. Tsukuba has a long history of accepting foreign students, of having designed programs that appeal to both Japanese and non-Japanese students, and working together and studying together is one of the hallmarks of the University of Tsukuba. So, moving forward, okay, to our next slide. Next, my turn here is finished for now, and you'll see me a little bit later on. But I'd like to hand the microphone over to Professor Maki Tsujimura, who is our dean, and he's going to talk about the UTMy overview. Professor Tsujimura, please.
Thank you, Professor Kawasaki Sensei. So now, welcome to UTMy webinars. I'm very pleased to have you now today, and I would like to explain briefly about UTMy characteristics overview. So next slide, please. Okay, UTMy was launched just half years ago, September 2024. It's very new branch campus of the University of Tsukuba in Malaysia. So what is UTMy? Please, next slide. We offer one program, namely School of Transdisciplinary Science and Design, and we will confer the Bachelor of Arts and Science. Thus, this is Bachelor program. Capacity is the 40 students per year and 4 years full course education program for bachelor and taught in English and Japanese. And school year starts in September until August. And tuitions 35,000 ringgit per year for Malaysian students and 38,000 ringgit per year for non-Malaysian students. So next, what's arts and science? What is arts and science? Okay, so this program, we aim to educate the students to get enough knowledge and skills to contribute to the global issue, solving the global issues. For that perspective, science and arts are very important, necessary, definitely. What's science? Science is understanding and analysis of the target issues in depth. We don't mind kinds of the academic fields. Natural science and civil engineering and humanity, literature, social sciences, and so on. We don't mind that academic fields. This program starts from the issues. So we aim to solve the issues. For that perspective, we collect the necessary every kind of academic fields. Okay, so science is to understand and analyze the issues target in depth. And what is arts? Arts is social implementations to solve the issues. Okay. In other words, proposal for the solving. So not only for understand the analysis of the target issues, but also we need to have knowledge and skills to solve the issues. For that perspective, we need to make the implementations of the proposal in the societies. Therefore, science and arts are necessary in this program. Science to understand, analyze the issue in depth, and arts, social implementations of the proposal. Okay. Therefore, the programs consistent with from issues to solutions. For that perspective, we educate the participations and cooperation minds and viewpoint, looking at every type of multiple stakeholder, and also leadership and entrepreneurships with innovation skills. Okay. Next, please. For that perspective, School of Transdisciplinary Science and Design prepare as a course, data science is the center of educations, including ICT, AI, probability and statistics, and so on. And also we educate natural sciences and humanities, social sciences, literature as well. Of course, not only for the variety of the fields courses offered, we aim to educate the students to have enough knowledge and skills to contribute to solve the global issues. Therefore, program-based learning is the center of the curriculum. We call that program-based learning as a center. In this course, the students have to set up the topics in which they tackle with by themselves. We, faculty staffs, support that to pick up the topics. So you have to have high motivation to solve the global issues, and you have to get the knowledge and skills or capacity to set up the topics or set up the issues by yourself. You shouldn't wait for instructions from the faculties. You decide the issues in which you will tackle with in this education program. That is Bachelor of Arts and Science. And finally, you will confer this bachelor degree from the main campus of the University of Tsukuba. Therefore, the degree is Japanese degree, authorized by one of the top 10 national universities in Japan. Okay, next please. So we, UTMy, is seeking applicants which is motivated to study global issues and how to solve them in Malaysia and Southeast Asia. And we are seeking applicants who have a basic knowledge of natural sciences, humanities, and social sciences to solve the global issues and high motivation to study them. And also, we are seeking applicants who are motivated to evaluate information appropriately based on data and to show their ideas logically. And also who are motivated to study Japanese language and culture and can respect diverse ideas and ways of thinking. For that perspective, next, please. We would like to characterize this UTMy program as issue-driven, not discipline-driven. So if you are more interested in the traditional academic field, you would better to choose another universities. UTMy is completely issue-driven, offer issue-driven programs. Therefore, if you are very interested in to solve the global issues, then very welcome. That perspective to implementations, UTMy promotes program-based learning. And UTMy confers a Bachelor of Arts and Science as a Japanese university. Next, please. So we have sometimes received these kind of questions, such as what kind of specialty can students study in UTMy? Okay, I would like to say you can study multiple disciplines which are necessary to solve the global issues. Then we support you to choose and study necessary knowledge and skills which are not covered by traditional disciplines. Therefore, we can't say this is civil engineering, this is literature, this is humanity. We can't say. We collect necessary disciplines for you to solve the global issues. And what kind of career path can graduates get? I would like to say unlimited careers are possible for you to get. Many careers are available based on the study process at UTMy. For example, if you study focuses on multicultural diversity, then you could be employed by a Japanese company in Malaysia or division of personnel or enrolled in the Graduate School of Humanity and Social Sciences, University of Tsukuba, and or main campus in Japan. You can decide through your study at UTMy. You can decide, you can choose in the choices of unlimited probability and possibilities. And is it admission easier for UTMy than for UT's main campuses? Sometimes I receive these questions from the Japanese peoples. I would like to say no. We have an independent section policy entrance examination there, especially admission policies. So we would say it is more difficult for you to get into UTMy than existing undergraduate schools at UT. Because I receive these questions. I don't like, frankly speaking, I don't like these questions. But sometimes I receive these questions from Japanese people. So I would like to say that in Japanese for these questions, この質問は日本人の方から時々受けるので、あえて日本語でお答えをします。筑波大学の本体よりもマレーシア校の方が入学試験が簡単ではないかという質問はよく受ける質問ですけれども、それに対してはこうお答えしています。もしあなたがそう思ってこちらをお受けになるんだったら、ぜひやめてください。こちらには来ないでください。そう思うんであれば、本体の方の入学試験を受けてください。筑波大学マレーシア校は全く違うアドミッションポリシーに基づいて入学試験をしていますので、ここのポリシー、すなわちグローバルイシューを解決する知識、能力、考え方を身につける。そこにモチベーションを感じる人だけに来てほしいですね。あるいはそれに対して必要な能力、スキルを身につけることにモチベーションがある人だけに来てほしいので、筑波大学本体よりもこちらの方が優しそうに思うというのであれば来ないでください。もし来たら非常に苦労しますし、おそらく途中でドロップアウトせざるを得なくなると思います。あえてそのように申し上げます。ただし、もしここのアドミッションポリシーに興味関心があるのであれば、苦労はすると思いますけども、我々も全力を尽くしてサポートしますし、一緒に新しい大学の、日本の大学の教育を作っていきたいと思いますので、一緒に頑張りましょうというふうに申し上げたいと思います。Okay, so I would like to shift and to next part. Professor Mochiyama Sensei, please.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I'm Hiromi Mochiyama, a professor of University of Tsukuba and chair of the curriculum committee of UTMy. Thank you for coming to our webinar. Here, I would like to explain the most distinctive feature of our curriculum. This is, as Professor Sujimura mentioned, our curriculum is centered around the problem-based learning, PBL. PBL is a type of active learning in which students set their own problems and learn by thinking about solutions to them. Okay. Oh, next slide, please. Okay, thank you very much. This is the overview of our curriculum. The course in natural sciences, including data science, are on the right. Okay. The courses in humanities and the social sciences are on the left. The first year courses are at the bottom. On top of these, the courses for second, third, fourth year students are piled up in order. The PBL courses is located at the center. But more importantly, at UTMy, PBL classes are held throughout the year for students in their first to fourth year, which means that students are constantly engaged in PBL throughout the 4-year program. Okay? This thorough PBL-centered curriculum is a very rare practice that is hard to find anywhere else in the world. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. This is the overview of our PBL plan. UTMy's PBL is guided by a diverse group of faculty members. On the right, you can see the photo face of our faculty members. So yes, actually, I'm robotics researcher, and also we have a geoscientist and yes, physical education, medicine, biologist, data scientist, and also the comparative literature teacher. So a very diverse group of faculty members. You understand that. Therefore, our PBL can cover a wide range of themes from the natural sciences to humanities and the social sciences. So on the left, you can see the topics. First one is a data-based intelligent system. It's a little bit engineering topics. And the next one is Japanese custom and culture. So actually, so we treat the gender issue for this PBL, and healthy and sustainable lifestyle, democracy from the perspective education, and so on. So many topics we deal with. Then, so this means that students can always approach our PBL with a fresh perspective. Next slide, please. Yes, thank you. In order to give you a clearer idea of our PBL, I would like to introduce our first PBL just finished in January. In 5 weeks, students, only 5 weeks, okay? Students worked on creating something intelligent related to the issues they had chosen. This is a list of the prototypes that the students actually created to show the feasibility of their ideas. One team created an application of smartphone that warns people about illegal parking. The second team created a browser extension program to better judge the accuracy of generative AI. It's a very hot topic. The third team prepared a water treatment system using UV light with photocatalysis, and actually conducted an experiment to incubate bacteria in water samples. And the last team demonstrated the effectiveness of fuzzy logic for automated train using a miniature train system operated by a microcontroller. For more detail, please see our website. You can see the URL left bottom of this slide. Okay. But what I want to emphasize here is that the prototypes of these intelligent systems were not predetermined by the teachers, but were decided by the students themselves. Therefore, our students actively learned a lot in the process of solving the problems and also learned how to learn by themselves. This is an important point. Okay, next slide, please. So you can see the movie. This is a demonstration of a prototype created by one of the teams. This team demonstrated an application that uses the GPS function of smartphone to alert the user when they enter an illegal parking area. Okay. So you can see many teachers from various fields participated in the demonstration. So actually here, so we have geoscientists, so sports scientists, and yes, the teacher of education and the data scientist, and also me, robotics researchers. Okay. So I think you can get a feel for the atmosphere of our PBL. So many of the PBL themes are tackled by teams. Discussion with teammates, teachers, and other people involved in the theme are the key to setting appropriate problems and finding solutions. Therefore, students are required to hone their communication skills, especially in English. So by establishing a permanent PBL program like this, a student can develop their own learning and communication skills and cultivate the ability to continue to take on unprecedented global challenges. So if you are interested in our program, please consider taking the entrance exam.
Today, I will provide an overview of the admission procedures for UTMy. The information I will share is an excerpt from the current application guidelines, so please ensure that you carefully read the official application guidelines before submitting your application. Next slide, please. To be eligible for admission to the University of Tsukuba, Malaysia, applicants must have completed 12 years of formal education. Please refer to the application guidelines for details. For instance, applicants cannot be admitted with only an SPM qualification. Instead, acceptable qualifications include STPM, Foundation, A-level, UEC, IB, diploma, or equivalent 12 years of formal education. UTMy does not offer pre-university courses, but we accept students from recognized pre-university programs from other institutions. Applicants may also qualify by completing a pre-U course approved by Japanese Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology, that is MEXT, after completing SPM, IGCSE, or O levels. Most of these courses are offered by Japanese language schools in Japan, but there's one accredited preparatory course available in Kuala Lumpur. Next slide, please. UTMy offers two admission schemes, School Recommendation Scheme and Aptitude-Based Scheme. The School Recommendation Scheme is open to students who have completed their secondary education in Malaysia. This year's admissions under this scheme have concluded. Applicants are evaluated on these criteria written here, and the screening method is individual interview conducted at the UTMy campus in Kuala Lumpur. Next slide, please. The aptitude-based scheme admits up to 30 students per year. The application period for this year starts the day after tomorrow. While it is essential for applicants to have basic academic skills, critical thinking, and advanced understanding necessary for the study of data science, UTMy also seeks students who are interested in expressing their opinions on and solving global issues, as our Dean, Professor Tsujimura, have explained, and who are willing to take on new challenges at the University of Tsukuba in Malaysia. Those who are interested in Japanese society and culture are also welcome. Required documents are proof of payment of application fee, that is 100 ringgit, proof of eligibility, proof of English proficiency, and personal essay. Applicants who have studied Japanese in the past may submit a certificate of study to support their application, but it is not a requirement for this scheme. As for the screening method, applicants will participate in a group interview at the UTMy campus in Kuala Lumpur. Next slide, please. Some applicants may be concerned about the group interview process. Here's what to expect. Candidates will research a given global issue in advance and present their opinions during the group discussion. Next slide, please. After that, groups will share ideas and engage in a Q&A session. The interview is not a formal examination. Rather, it is an interactive group activity designed to assess problem-solving and communication skills. It offers an engaging and intellectually stimulating experience that participants can enjoy. Next slide, please. Applicants must meet at least one of the following academic criteria: a pass in STPM with a minimum grade C, GP 2.33, in any 3 subjects, including mathematics. A pass in UEC with a minimum grade B in any 5 subjects, including math. A pass in A levels with a minimum grade C in any 3 subjects, including math. And for IB, minimum of 27 total points, including math. An individual math score must also be above 4 points. As for the EJU, that is Examination for Japanese University Admission for International Students, the total score of 3 subjects, including mathematics, must be above the average for the EJU cohort. A pass in foundation or matriculation with a minimum CGPA of 2.3 out of 4.0 or equivalent. A pass in diploma, that is level 4 MQF, with a minimum CGPA of 2.3 out of 4.0 or equivalent. And for other qualifications, please contact UTMy for clarification. Please also note that applicants are expected to have a basic understanding of mathematics equivalent to the Cambridge International A-level mathematics. Next slide, please. Applicants must meet one of the following standards for English proficiency: Band 3 or higher in MUET, 5.0 or higher in IELTS academic, and 61 or higher in TOEFL. For English qualifications not listed here, please contact UTMy for further guidance. Note that country-specific English tests, for example, Japanese Eiken, are not accepted. As for Japanese language proficiency, applicants who apply to the school recommendation scheme must demonstrate Japanese language proficiency equivalent to JLPT N3 or provide documentary evidence of Japanese language learning. Applicants for the aptitude-based scheme, Japanese language proficiency is not required. Those with no prior experience in Japanese are welcome to apply. We also welcome international students. As explained earlier, the University of Tsukuba has a long tradition and track record of accepting international students. The strength of the University of Tsukuba is that students from various regions gather in Asia to learn and grow together. Regardless of nationality, anyone who meets the eligibility criteria and passes the screening process can enroll at UTMy. Please note that Japanese nationals are treated as international students since UTMy is located in Malaysia. And all international students are required to obtain a student pass to study in Malaysia. UTMy will support international students to get their student visa. Next, please. Finally, here is a schedule of the application process. Please access to application guide via the provided URL. Check your eligibility and academic qualifications. Prepare your documents as listed for your preferred admission scheme. Pay the application fee. An application for the school recommendation scheme is over this year, but applications for aptitude-based scheme open on March 18th, the day after tomorrow, and close on April 15, 2025. So we're waiting for your submission, and thank you for your attention. Now I'll pass my microphone to the next speaker, Professor Yamada. Thank you.
My name is Yoichi Yamada, and from my side, I will explaining the fascinating curriculum of UTMY. Actually, this is so interesting that we all are excited about this, so I would like to share this with you. Okay, so next, please. Okay, today I have 3 points, 3 interesting features of UTMY. One is Malaysia-Japan relationship, on which the UTMY is based. And this offers the global environment in UTMY, so this would be the primary benefit for the student, the global environment. Okay, then second is the global issues that we are challenging. The global issues is a very important keyword in the nowadays world, and we are offering new and very efficient education for that. So this is also the beneficial things of UTMY. And in this curriculum, utilize the data science and problem-based learning, PBL. So this gives you a very important skill in the for your future career. Okay, so yeah, I will go into a little bit detail of them. So could you please next? Well, thank you. Okay, so first one is Malaysia-Japan relationship. Actually, UTMY has been initially commissioned by the Malaysian government to set up the Japanese style education in Malaysia. So basically, we are doing so, and this is actually the first time for the Japanese National University to have overseas branch campuses. So we are focusing from 2 countries, Malaysia and Japan. And this is the photo of this year's Malaysia-Japan summit meeting, where the UTMY has been discussed and mentioned. So we are actually attracting a lot of attention from both countries. And actually, this is also beneficial for our students because they are focused also. Okay, so this is a primary benefit. And actually, we are aiming to go beyond the Japanese style education, because we are focusing on the global issues. So we are now setting up very, very new education here, which is not even in Japan. Okay, so could you go right? Okay, so this is because we are aiming for the global issues. So many of you have already heard of global issues like food issue, air issue, climate issue, and so on and so on. So it's not very special thing. So in this globally connected world, we can find similar issues everywhere in the world. So we all have to face on these problems, issues. And so it's a common problem, but there are the distinct characteristics for this problem that makes this problem very difficult to be solved. So that is the diverse and complex nature of the problem. For example, food issues can contain biology of food, chemistry of food, maybe physics of food, and economy and politics of food, and so on and so on. So it's a complex of many disciplines. So this is little bit different or distinct problem, and we don't we don't solve this kind of problem, for example, in high school, where problem is fixed and simple. So we do need special strategy for this kind of issues. So so next, please. So for that, we do need transdisciplinarity because the problem contains many disciplines. So this is our faculty, full of diversity, and we have 14 professors from many different fields of humanity and sciences from the University of Tsukuba. And this is one of the very good feature of UTMy. And as you may know, University Tsukuba, the research level of University of Tsukuba, Japan is so high. So that means they are, all of us are very excellent researchers in Japan. So that means you can learn many disciplines from us. So you can learn many things. And so that is beneficial for students. And actually all of us are also responsible for the Japanese graduate school. So you can have many connection or access to Japanese graduate school also. So this is good point of us. Okay, so next please. And our curriculum is based on so-called design thinking. This design is not for usual design like graphic, but this is a special way of thinking for solving the problem. So design thinking consists of 4 stages: problem finding stage, problem defining stage, then solution finding and defining stages. And so we are basically based on this way of thinking, and the former 2 part, problem finding and defining process, is actually very important for when it comes to the complex problem like global issues. And conventional education doesn't do this this stage. So this is very unique education of UTMy. Okay, so next please. So based on that design thinking, we are now setting up our own problem-based learning PBL courses. I don't go into very detail because Mochiyama Sensei have already explained, but I just want to repeat the basic philosophy of our own PBL, which is very different from the conventional universities thing. Where the goal is always discipline and problem is always given and fixed. So students solve the given and fixed problem in the class. So that is very different from our PBL. In our PBL, program is to be defined by student by themselves, and we, the staffs, help student to solve the problem using discipline. So goal of our PBL is always solving issues, and the disciplines are just a tool for that. So this is so the student, the main player of UTMy is always students. So this is a very unique feature of us. Okay, so can go next. Okay, so actually, so far our education has been working very, very well, and students are satisfied, and we actually staffs are also satisfied, and we are very much enjoying this education. So here I pick up some voices, messages from students. Here is messages from Japanese students. So in Japanese, maybe you can read later. Can you go next one and next slide? So this is the English translation. And in short, actually they are mentioning that the learning of the wealth of originality in UTMY in a new and stimulating environment is nice. Okay, so they are quite satisfied with our education. And next, please. And this is from the Malaysian student, and he is mentioning that transdisciplinarity is one of the attractive points of UTMY, and he is also saying that many universities will follow us. So I would fully agree with him, and this comment can summarize my talk. Okay, thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Yamada. And now we're going to have a faculty self-introduction. Okay, and we have many of our faculty members are here today, and they have each prepared a slide about their specialities. And so let's move forward. And each one of them will introduce his or her particular perspective and discipline in turn. Now, first, we'd like to ask Professor Tsujimura, would you like to, here's your introduction slide. Please introduce yourself and your research.
Okay, thank you. Again, hello, everyone. Actually, I major in hydrology, water resources, and hydrogeology. This is a science for the water. Okay, and my main topic is to source or take the source of the waters. So if the water is here, and we have now water programs here, but cause of that water programs is sourced in the upstream regions, or the cause of that water issues located in the past. So we need to trace the water path and flow, and also the source and time. How long does it take? For example, in 2011, we have a very serious earthquake issues, and with Fukushima power plant accident. At that time, everyone very concerned about the waters. How is the water interrupted by the radionuclides? And at that time, the water source and water path and water age was one of the most important issues. We investigate that issues as well. So my main topic is the waters, including the source and path and age of the waters. Okay, so if you're chance to enroll in the UTMy, let's do together about the water resources issues research. Thank you. So I would like to pass Kudo Sensei, かな?
I think he's not here.
はい。
Okay, moving forward. Professor Suzuki.
Thank you very much for joining. I'm Iwane Suzuki. I'm mainly studying the photosynthesis using the microalgae. And I would like to fix CO2 using the photosynthetic organisms process via photosynthesis. And not only reduce the CO2, but also try to produce the useful compounds by the activity of the living organisms. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Suzuki. Okay, and our next professor is Professor Tezuka.
Hi, I'm Taro Tezuka. My field is artificial intelligence development, especially for neuroscience. So I develop software for signal processing of EEG, electroencephalogram obtained from the brain, or calcium imaging obtained from experimental animals, and work in collaboration with neuroscientists, biologists to understand more about how our brain works. So, and in this curriculum, in this program in Malaysia, I'm teaching many courses about data science and AI and mathematics. So it'd be great to see you.
Thank you very much, Professor Tezuka. Okay, our next professor is Ken Nishimura. Professor Nishimura.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
we can.
I'm Ken Nishimura. So hello, nice to meet you. So I'm researching on the regenerative medicine to make the iPS or many types of the differentiated cells using our unique vector system. For example, that we can make the neural cell or cardiomyocyte or something. And also about the class in my UTMy, I'm managing the PBL about the medical course, medical issues. So I planning to give you some chances to do some the hospital tours, and also hear the many talks from the specialists who already done solve the global issues. So I'm looking forward to see you in Malaysia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Nishimura. Okay, our next professor is Professor Hiraishi.
Hello again. My name is Noriko Hiraishi, and I specialize in comparative literature. And as a literature scholar, I bring a unique perspective to our interdisciplinary program, particularly when following self-introductions from colleagues in fields such as biology, sports science, and computer science. And currently, my research focuses on two main areas. The first examines intercultural literary exchanges between Europe and Japan, and the second explores Japanese popular texts such as manga and anime within global contexts. I'm really enjoying engaging in both research and teaching at UTMy with meaningful academic exchanges with colleagues and students. And in my problem-based learning PBL class, we examine gender issues through literary and cultural texts encountered in everyday life. One example we've taken up is Doraemon, that widely known manga by Fujiko Fujio, which has also gained popularity in Malaysia. In particular, we focused on an episode titled Gender Bended Potion, first published in 1975, as shown here. This humorous story follows a magical potion that causes boys to behave like girls and vice versa. At the beginning of the episode, Nobita's father scolds him for playing cat's cradle, labeling it's a girl's play, and encourages him to engage in more boyish activities like soccer. The scene reflects the rigid gender roles prevalent in 1970s Japanese society, illustrating how children were expected to internalize notions of masculinity and femininity from a young age. In the PBL class, we are discussing these issues in the class. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Hiraishi. Moving on to Professor Mochiyama.
Yes, hello again. So I'm Hiromi Mochiyama, Curriculum Committee Chair, and also in charge of the education of data science. And I'm actually the robotics researcher, and especially the software robotics. So in software robotics, so we use soft material to find new function of robots. And so using this soft robotics technology, so we can achieve interactive tasks with robots, then which open up a new AI application based on the science of interactive forces. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Mochiyama. And next is me and my research. And my name, again, is Leslie Tak Kawasaki. And my research predominantly focuses on political communication and media use by political actors. And my target is actually Japanese political actors and how they have used internet based media formats through election and non election periods, roughly in the past 20 to 25 years. I'm also very interested in science communication and policy communication. And you can see in the diagram below, I'm interested in the policy process and how it is reflected in what I call the media prism. And then we hope to produce some research results through text mining, content analysis, surveys, and network analysis. And actually, much of my research involves combinations of those types of research results. Now, I'm very much interested in communication in general, and I'm really looking forward to helping UTMy students, particularly with their science communication. The courses that I'm going to be teaching are Fundamentals of Humanities and Social Sciences 2, Introduction to Humanities and Social Sciences 2, and Understanding Japanese Culture and Society. So I'm really hoping that I can bring both Japanese and non-Japanese students together, and we can together we could study some issues within Japanese society and politics and communication as well. And also, I'm hoping that we can, through internships with Japanese companies, we can actually experience field work and how it is to work in Japanese companies. And I'm really interested in doing that with students, as I've done similar courses when I was a student myself, and I found them particularly engaging and so beneficial and such great learning opportunities. And I'm really interested and committed to offering UTMy students that type of opportunity as well. And so my role is to empower you as students to discover your core competencies and your abilities and support your growth as individuals and as members of society. Okay, next, please. Professor Yamada.
Okay. Hi again. My name is Yoichi Yamada, and my major is material science, and I'm using a special type of microscope, so we can see the molecule or atoms, very tiny things. So in my PBL, you can join very up-to-date material science or nanotechnology, and you can also join the collaboration with the company. So, okay, thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Yamada. Okay, next, Professor Ueda. Okay, I think Professor Ueda is not not with us today. Okay, Professor Zempo.
Hello. Well, this is example, Keiichi, an associate professor and business manager, engineer, hacker, and maybe you could say me as a musician. Well, my specialty is acoustic and measurement, but I'm also involved to join in research with expert in a wide range of fields. And now, for example, I'm developing new psychological treatment method that utilize latest measurement equipments and new VRs, as well as creating the forms of service interaction that utilize AI. And well, the new service includes remote collaboration and metaverse, and I'm now trying to seamlessly connect Japan and Malaysia. Well, anyway, in summary, I'm conducting research in Tsukuba-like style, which is based on the multidisciplinary collaboration. So anyway, I'm looking forward to see you in UTMy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Hieda.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. 皆さん、こんにちは。My name is Natsu Eheda. My field is Japanese language education and linguistics. Now I focus on comparative study between Japanese language and Malay language. I have also published some books translated from Malay into Japanese. Malaysia is a second home country for me, so I really want to be a bridge between Malaysia and Japan. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Hieda. Professor Daigo?
Not here.
Okay, I think she's not here today. And Professor Watabe
Maybe
is
not.
also not with us, unfortunately not with us today. Okay, so that concludes the introduction of our faculty members for today. Now we're going to have the Q&A period for about 10 or 12 minutes, and we're going to probably wrap up our webinar about 3:15 Malaysia time. So do you have any questions? Now you can either raise your hand or you can put your questions in the chat box, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have about UTMy, the application process, our PBL courses, or anything. So please go ahead and ask your questions. We've put, yes, Zane, thank you for your question. Does UTMy offer any kind of scholarships? Okay, thank you for
Okay,
that question.
Yeah. Okay, I will answer for that questions. Yes, we prepare the scholarships, some scholarships, and after enrollment, you can apply the scholarships, and we will decide who get the scholarships based on the grade of the entrance examinations. Okay, and now currently, as I mentioned, the capacity is 40 students per year, and 40 students, and we prepare the scholarship for 40% of the total 1 year's students. Okay, so usually 16 or 18 students per year can get any kind of scholarships. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, Soma-san? Soma-san, do you have any questions? 日本語でも大丈夫です。
昆虫に関する授業、これは鈴木先生に答えていただいた方がいいでしょうかね。岩根先生。
すいません。私からはちょっと質問が見えてないんですけど。
昆虫に関する授業はありますか？授業だけではなくて、研究の可能性も含めてだと思いますけど、昆虫に関してご興味があるようです。昆虫に関する授業はありますかというのが元々のご質問です。
僕、自分自身は植物の研究者なんで、あんまり昆虫のことは考えていませんでした。
です。どうぞどうぞ。いやいや。いえ、筑波大学の本校にはですね、昆虫のご専門の先生もいらっしゃいます。で、昆虫そのものに関する昆虫そのものの授業というのを、昆虫学を用意しているわけではありませんけれども、PBL の授業、あるいは卒業研究で希望されるのであれば、昆虫に関するテーマを選択されて、筑波大学本校で一定期間卒業研究を行うということも可能です。というお答えでよろしいでしょうか。
本校の生物学類には、60数名の先生がおりまして、そのうち大体 10% ぐらいの先生は、虫に何らかの関係のあるモデル生物として使う先生とか、害虫を主に研究する先生とか、純粋に、昆虫のことを研究する先生とかいろいろいますので、そういう先生を選べると思います。
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Suzuki. We have another question regarding where students live. Okay. 学生の利用あるかどうか、そういうこと。はい。Professor Tsuchimura, please.
そうですね。学生寮は、用意をしていません。近隣の、アパートメント、コンドミニアム等に、賃借して住まわれている方が、皆さん特にマレーシア国外からの学生さんはそのようにされています。そういった物件を探すときはもちろん、教職員が、一緒にサポートして探すということは行っておりますけど、現時点で、学生寮は準備していません。
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we have another question. As a Malaysian, here's the question, are there established career paths and job opportunities for the students before and after graduation?
Okay, thank you for your questions. We have only first batch students yet. Okay, so we haven't yet had any graduates yet. However, as I mentioned in my brief explanations, we expect the graduate of UTMy will be expected to be employed by for example, depending on what kind of research main topic he or she tackle with during the courses, 4 years courses. As Professor Mochiyama mentioned that throughout 4 years, they have to tackle with the program-based learning, including the graduation research project. So depending on that topics, they have unlimited career path. However, we have very close collaboration with the industry and companies in Malaysia, sourced from Japan and also Malaysia. And also, those companies or industries are very welcome to accept internship from UTMy students. Therefore, considering carefully about his or her motivation, wishes, and also effect of education as education program, we can give students the chance of internship before graduations. And also we would like to support employment after graduation as well.
Thank you very much, Professor Tsuchimura. Now, there's another question. 先生方が筑波大学の先生が赴任されているのでしょうか。授業の言葉は基本的に英語という理解で
よろしい
でしょうか。
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
14名の専任の、教員はすべて筑波大学本校の、教員がこちらに赴任をしております。私も含めて14名の専任教員はいずれもこちらに赴任をしております。もちろん、筑波大学本校でもまだ授業や、特に大学院の授業は本校でもございますので、行き来をしておりますけれども、基本的にはこちらで主要な授業に当たっています。授業はですね、 特に入学直後は基本的に英語で行っております。ただし、もちろん日本語そのものを教える授業もあって、少しずつ日本語の部分も増やしていき、最終的に卒業研究を行う段階において、学生さんと指導教員とが卒業研究のトピックについて半分英語、半分日本語でディスカッションできるようになる。これは主にターゲットとしては、英語ネイティブの人を、英語ネイティブあるいはマレーネイティブの人を想定していることではありますけれども、そのぐらいのレベルになることを想定はしています。入学直後は、現時点で言えば、基本的に全ての授業は英語で行われています。日本語の授業以外はですね、全ての授業は英語で行われています。国籍の問題ですね、一つは。その場合どちらのこれちょっと、ですね、問い合わせをして別にしていただけますか。ちょっと微妙な、どちらの国籍でアプリケーションをするかという問題なので、これについては、追ってお答えをしたいと思うんですけれども、ちゃんと確認した上でお答えをした方がいいと思うので、ですね、後で問い合わせ先を、この件に関する問い合わせ先をチャット欄に貼り付けますので、ちょっと別ルートで問い合わせを個別にしていただいた方がいいと思います。
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Tsujimura, and also Goino-san for your response as well in the chat box. Are there other questions from our students or potential students, we're hoping, from our attendees today? Okay, thank you. Tran-san, yes. Do you have a question? Please go ahead.
In Malaysia, University of Tegucigalpa only offer Bachelor of Arts and Science program. Is that right? And
Yes.
I would like to know what careers are suitable for Bachelor of Arts and Science after graduation. Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. I understand that degree of Bachelor of Arts and Science, this is the first case in Malaysia for the universities, including the Malaysian universities and Japanese foreign countries universities, confer Bachelor of Arts and Science as a degree program here in Malaysia. So I understand that you are worried about the career path after getting a Bachelor of Arts and Science. But as I already mentioned, explained, well, we haven't yet any graduate at the current stage, only first batch students now. So we haven't yet cases. However, we expect the graduates are employed by multiple industries or companies in Malaysia or in Japan as well. And it depending on the topics, research topics in which you tackle with during the 4 years courses. If you are more interested in for example, the social sciences issues, then you are expected to be employed by the companies or industry, many companies, firms regarding on the financial and or mass medias and or some others, or enrolled in the postgraduate schools in Japan or in Malaysia. So depending on what kind of topics you choose, therefore, probable or possible career path that you decide, not us, you decide, okay? Well, of course, we are supporting that.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Tsujimura. I think it's also I think it's also a good time to add that we, in addition to encouraging students to follow their own ideas in terms of research and to define their own areas that they are interested in, we're very much committed to helping students develop their transferable skills. Okay, their problem solving skills, their analytical skills. These are things that we hope through our PBL class that we want to teach students how to refine. And those are the types of skills that you can take anywhere in any type of job that you pursue, or even if you go on to higher education as well, to a graduate degree. These transferable skills are another part of our program that we really encourage students to develop. Now, we have another question in the chat box from a Japanese student, Yamamoto-san. Yes, you're asking about your own interests. Could I ask Professor Tsujimura, would you like to take a look and perhaps answer this question, please, for Yamamoto-san?
はい。はい。ですね、もちろん今の段階で興味のあることを、いや、ですね、今興味がある分野が特定になくても、それは全く問題はありません。ここに書いてある、その世界の貢献していきたいと思っていますけど、特定の分野について興味、そういう方にはぜひ来ていただきたいと思います。ごめんなさい、それは合格を保証するという意味ではないけど。それで、どうしてかというとですね、もちろん現時点で特定の分野に興味があるっていうのは、そこが、それはいいんです。特定の分野に興味があろうがなかろうが、知識がなくても、今の時点でそれを問うているわけではないので、むしろそういった情報をきちっと見つけられるようにトレーニングを我々は、PBL の授業などを通じて UTMy で、準備をしています。入学直後に行うプログラムベースラーニングの授業では、身近な課題を見つけてきてもらうところから始めます。どんな課題でもいいんです。お家の水道水がまずければその問題でもいいです。マレーシアに来ると道がデコボコしてるので歩くのに困っちゃう時もあるんだけども、そういう問題でもいいんです。どんな問題でもいいので、身近な問題からスタートする。これ、前歩先生が書いてくださってるけれども、こういうふうに答えればいいんだな。うまいな。輝けるようなカリキュラム、まさにその通りなので、ぜひお待ちしています。
Thank you very much for your explanation, both to Professor Zampo and Professor Tsujimura. Thank you. Do we have other questions from our attendees? Okay, it doesn't seem like we have any other questions. I think we have some URLs and a survey QR code. Can we go to the next slide? There we go. Okay, so these are the ways that you can contact us, okay? We'll wrap up just in one more minute and we'll wrap up today's webinar. First of all, you could take a look at our website and you can see the website address and the link there. And take a look at our admission procedure and familiarize yourself with that. If you have any questions about that, there's contact email that you can reach us and our administrators, and we can help you answer any questions that you have. We also have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and sorry, those are the icons are a little reversed there. And then our Twitter, our X page is formerly Twitter, is also there, UTMy_PR. Now, we also have another slide. Okay, this is the email address for UTMy Kyomu, or Education Affairs Department. Okay, our academic service office. So please contact us if you have any questions. This is what you should use for asking any kinds of information that we weren't able to answer today in our webinar. And if you have additional questions. Okay, next slide. Okay, if you want more information about the University of Tsukuba, our main University of Tsukuba address is www.tsukuba.ac.jp. And you can see maps, and here's the links to maps and data of the University of Tsukuba, and well as information from our full brochure for University of Tsukuba academic year in the outline. So you can see a lot of information there as well about the University of Tsukuba. Okay, and I think there's one more slide, I think, with a QR code. There we go. Okay, thank you. All right, now we would like to hear from you about our webinar and how you, if we answered any questions that you had, what you liked about the webinar, and what things that we could add to the webinar to give you more information about UTMY and its courses. So please take a snapshot of this QR code and fill out the post-webinar questionnaire. And we're looking forward to hearing from you, either as an applicant to our program and ideally as an applicant to our program. And remember, our application window is from March 18th until April 15th. So please familiarize yourself with the application procedure and email us if you have any questions. We're going to have one more webinar in early April as well. So if you, and what is the data, I think is April 7th, Professor Tsujimura, is that correct? Yeah, okay,
Yes,
so
yes,
yeah,
yes.
great. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to have another webinar on April 7th. So please contact us if you have any questions, and we're really looking forward to your application to the University of Tsukuba. Okay, thank you so much for your time today, and that concludes our webinar. So thank you for coming and spending your time with us on this nice Saturday afternoon. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much.